That's what I'm talking about.
What is up, my loves, and welcome back to the Can't Be Contained podcast. I have a crazy one for you today. For those of you who've been around these parts for a while, you probably know Cathy Heller. She is one of my closest friends, one of my soul sisters. She is just an absolute channel for the divine, and I brought her into Women in Wealth, and she blew the house down. It was so incredible. It was absolutely extraordinary. And I wanted to pop her session on the podcast because it was just incredible. She is a powerful leader. She's a powerful channel. She is a permission slip for women to really step into their most authentic self and, most importantly, their most abundant self, and doing that together. How we can be wildly authentic and also make the money that our heart sings for every single day. She's just no bull crap. She gets right to the truth, gets right to the point, and she's just an absolute gem, and I love her so much. So I know that you're going to love this episode. If 2026 is your year where you're like, I'm ready to pop, I'm ready to expand, I'm ready to be the next known thing in my industry, I'm ready to take this mission that is on my heart, that is on my soul, and actually share it with the world in a way that feels so good and so aligned, that I invite you to apply for the 2026 Life Mastermind. This is my exclusive group for women in business who are ready to break the rules, break the boundaries, and do business in a way that actually feels life-giving on the nervous system. Life stands for lucrative, impactful, fun, and easy. And if you are ready to take that mission and amplify it, really add light, add wings, add breath to that mission that's on your heart, then go to pausebreathwork.com/mastermind. That's pausebreathwork.com/mastermind. You can apply for 2026. I read every single application that we get in depth. So make sure you take some time and really pour your heart into it. I'm curating a really powerful group of women who are here to not live ordinary lives, to live big, bold, beautiful lives. And I would love to have you in that room. My expansion is always amplified when I put myself in rooms of people who are doing things at the level that I desire to do them at. And if that is you and that's your desire and you're ready to stop playing small and finally give your dreams and your mission the breath and the energy they deserve, then apply today. And I hope to see you in the room in 2026.
Can't be contained.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, give some hugs and high fives and sit your hot booties down. Oh my.
That was the most cardio I've done in like a month.
We need to take a breather after that.
Take a breather.
Holy moly, guacamole. Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you ready for Cathy freaking Heller? I can't believe, I'm so happy you're here.
Oh my God.
Dude, the first time I reached out to her when I was first planning this, she couldn't make it because she was traveling to Japan or Florida or wherever the fuck you were. And then I woke up one morning not so long ago and my intuition's just ask her again. Ask, right? Remember? I'm practicing when I preach. This is the shit we do. I'm ask Kath again because you were the most requested speaker for this.
That's so nice, honestly. That's just the sweetest, kindest thing.
And then she was like, I'll be there. I'm like, oh my God, I love you so much. So thank you.
I really love you. We have such a deep love for each other. I feel like you've been at all of my events. And the only reason I had first said no is I thought I was not going to be here because I thought I was going to be somewhere else, but it turned out. And then I was like, oh my God, I can do it. And my daughter's birthday is the 22nd. And so at first I thought, oh, how am I going to pull that off? No, I could be here today.
It's so great. I'm so grateful that you are here.
I'm so happy, and it's so nice that anybody requests, even if it was just two of you. Thank you so much.
I'm going to quickly share with you guys the reason why I was so stoked to bring Cathy to this event. Cathy has been, since the day I met her, it was love at first sight. It really was. I met you and I was just like, who are you? We are destined. Yeah. It was just the moment. And I appreciate her so much for not only the range that you have, but your commitment and dedication to abundance at all costs. And not only does she live that through and through, breath by breath, moment by moment, there's not an ounce of scarcity in this woman's body. I'm telling you, there is not. There is not. But she's also the greatest permission slip for other people to activate their abundance. You are in your cells an abundance activator. Like you don't see any other reality. And every single time I hang out with you, my bank account grows.
Whoa! Love that.
Like serious, like actually.
Do I get 10%?
Yeah, obviously. That would be such a good business model, actually.
I just hang out with you and then there's money and Venmo me later. That's such a beautiful, thank you, I received that. It's such a beautiful thing to say. I'll tell you why I think that is. Okay. So we think that what we want is like piles of things. We think that what we want is some level of a big business or some amount of followers or some amount of bestsellers. But what we actually want is the real abundance that we came for. We have way bigger dreams than all of those things. We want the abundance that lives within us. We want to feel connected to the divine. We want to have every moment be a walking conversation with our soul. What we're really looking for is the channel that we are. What we're really looking for is to be on assignment all the time. And that is why I don't see anything but the full abundance of everyone, because I'm not looking at you as the persona, right? It's like Ram Dass says, at some age, somebody hands you a somebody suit and says, here, wear this. This is what you will be known for, or this is who you are. But that's all an identity that is still so separate and so tiny compared to who you are, right? And so Kabbalah says, like, each of us are a vessel, and each of us have the capacity to be emanating the light of God, which is pure abundance. And so when you tune into that, do it right now. Close your eyes for a second. Close your eyes for a second and just try this on, okay? First of all, take a deep breath. You're really good at that. Samantha is definitely the person to go to if you want to remember how to actually breathe. But what I want you to do is just bring the awareness to the energy like about 8 inches above your head. And you're going to feel that there is this electric force that is shining right through you, that is beaming electricity through you. This is God's light, the divine, right? And your heart is literally electromagnetic. And you are electromagnetic. And wherever you go, you are resonating. And depending on how tapped in and turned on you are, that's how much you are beaming and emanating this divinity through you. And that is the most impressive thing in a room, is how much light a person emanates, how much unconditional love, how much presence, how much grace they give to themselves and others. That's abundance. Feel it. That's who you are. That's you at the first thought of you. When God first dreamed you up, you had the capacity. You're totally overqualified to be the most impressive thing, which is love itself. Feel that. That's abundance. And now I want you to try this on. And you are hearing the deepest part of you reminding you that you are a masterpiece because you're a piece of the master. And you are someone because you're some of the one. Okay, now open your eyes. So we're not looking for anything out here. We're looking for what wants to move through here. And it is abundance upon abundance upon abundance upon abundance. And here's how cool the world is that God made. When you are in that level of wholeness, you print in the 3D. You're a 3D printer. When you are in that level, that much of a channel, and you don't walk into a room needing anything because you walk in to give something. You just start printing every version of abundance. You become a steward for more, because the word Kabbalah means to receive. And a radio is a receiver. So it's a good metaphor. So right now, what are you receiving? What are you tuned into? Are you tapped into love, tapped into scarcity, tapped into self-doubt? You're going to play static. But you were put here. Every one of us can tap into the channel of that divinity. And you walk in a room, what do you play? A love song. What does everybody want? They just want to be around you. What do they say? You have great energy. What happens next? You didn't even need anything. You already had it. Because you were a custodian of this light. And that is the most uncanny thing, is that when you are in wholeness, you create in the quantum field. Because consciousness creates matter, energy creates matter. And that's the abundance. And that's what you want. And you already have it. But you're looking outside of you so often you forgot that it's inside of you. And we don't see with our eyes. Why is it that when we meditate, we close our eyes? Because you actually have vision with your eyes closed. Because that's where God's lens comes on. That's the strategy. Use your soul. You haven't even scratched the surface. Okay. Good night, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Woo! Hi, Kim. See, I can't do that shit. That's okay. That's wow.
Still got it.
I'm not that impressive. Very good.
Fuck. Oh.
More.
God.
More.
But it's truth. The reason why we're all like, ugh, and Sam's crying is because she's speaking truth. She's speaking to something in you that already knows that is true, and she's cutting through the illusions. Okay, keep going. Dance monkey.
Say more.
Dance monkey.
Dance monkey. Okay. So here's the story. So when I was 19, I went on a trip to Jerusalem. It was supposed to be 3 weeks. And I wound up staying for 3 years. So I lived in Jerusalem for 3 years. And I wound up meeting my teacher, Rabbi David Aaron, who I talk about in my book. I bring him into my podcast very often and into my community. He's amazing. It's like so amazing how just when you think you're lost, you're completely found because you're on God's time and everything's a divine order. And it's like so much better because you didn't even know what you wanted, right? Like it's so much better than what you would have ordered. So I wound up hanging out there, learning, and I learned enough to know how much I don't know. So that's a good place to be. And I've been studying Kabbalah with him for, oh my God, it's like 26 years. That's insane. It's crazy. Anyway, so through that, I started to actually see the world through the lens of something really truthful and lasting. And he's the one who said to me, you are a masterpiece, you're a piece of the master. You're someone, you're some of the one. So I love that I get to repeat that because that's so beautiful. And so here's the metaphor. Let's take it a little bit further. Because everyone in this room is here because the reality you have, you know, is just a fraction of what you can manifest. True or not true? True. So let's go further. Some of you already know this, but we learn through repetition. So I'll say it again. Maybe even if you've heard me say it, you'll learn it a different way or it'll hit you deeper this way. So one of the things that he taught me, right, we talked for a second when I had you close your eyes about how the word Kabbalah literally means to receive. Lekabel means to receive. That's what that Hebrew word means. By the way, on my finger, somebody just sent this to me. It's a ring, and in Hebrew it says, Ein Milvado. It says there's nothing but God, okay, which is just so amazing. You know, the idea, by the way, is that you're some of the one, because all there is, if God is infinite, then God is everywhere, including right here. Not over there, here. Oneness, right? That's the divine, that's the infinite quantum field. We're all, every wave is a wave in the same ocean, right? So he taught me that we, as receivers, just like a radio, if you had a radio in this room and you turned it on, you'd hear music. The question is, where was the music before you turned the radio on? It was here. It was hidden in plain sight. So this idea of the law of attraction, what I've learned is it's really the law of reception, because a radio doesn't have to go attract anything, it just receives it. It's right here, hidden in plain sight. It's already in escrow. You just have to hit receive. It's here. Now here's the thing about a radio. If you turn on a radio, you could hear jazz music, you could hear, I can't believe that Celine Dion is now like oldies. It's like, what?
I know.
What's happening to me? Anyways, but whatever music you would want to hear, whether it's hip hop, it's jazz, it's whatever it is, it's there. In fact, there's so many options on the radio, right? And they're all where? Hidden in plain sight. When? Now, in this moment. So then you think to yourself, okay, so the life that you're living, let's call that the broadcast, the music. Who's choosing it? You are. It's where you tune the radio to. So if you wake up in the morning and you let your mind hijack you, which is what minds do, because the survival fight or flight instinct is like, I have to protect you, so let me like send you into a fog of the amygdala, right? If you go there, then what are you tuned to? You're tuned to the static. But if you took 10 minutes before you picked up your phone, before the world tells you what somebody's suit to put on, and instead you go, forget the somebody, because you're not a body, you're a soul, you're a someone, some of the one. If you spent 10 minutes in the morning and you tune to the radio of, I want to be a receiver. I want to tune to the truth. I want to tune to my soul. Then all day long, what do you get back? You're tuned to love. What does the world look like? Love. So many people come to me and they're like, here's what I want. I want this big business. I want this amount of money in my bank account. I want this. And I'm like, I have news for you. You're telling me that you want all this success, but you want something so much bigger than success. You know what you want? Significance. You want to know that by the time you go to sleep tonight, someone's life is better because of you. You want to know that you had a divine conversation all day long and you were always at the right place at the right time because God was speaking to you through the people you met, through the things that happened. You want synchronicity in your life. You want to feel energy. You want to feel connection. And they're like, yeah, actually, I would prefer that than everything I just said. Like, yeah.
Yes.
And you can get it in spades. I was just telling a few of the cutest girls who I was talking to backstage what happened this morning. So what happened this morning is me and my friend Kim came down here together, and I was like, okay, are we going to drive, take a train from Union Station, from LA? What are we going to do? Long story short, we're like, you know what, it'll be more relaxing. We'll take the train, we'll get to talk, we won't have to drive, blah, blah, blah. Fine. So we take a Waymo to Union Station, and the train was leaving at 8:10, okay? And I'm looking at the Waymo, and she had never been in one before. We take them every day, and I freaking love them. I'm like, what more proof do you need?
They terrify me.
No, I freaking love it. Nobody talks to me, no one has bad cologne. I'm like, all day. Yes, Waymo. Anyways, so we get to the train station at 8:13, not 8:10. And I'm like, well, maybe we'll have waited 5 minutes. I don't know. I don't know a lot about taking these trains. We run like in a rom-com, like we're running for the train. And we get there, or we're running right toward it. And I say to this guy, do you know where the 8:10 train is to San Diego? And he goes, you just missed it. And she goes, oh, and I go, oh, no, this is going to be so fun. Like, it's divine timing. Let's just see. And she's like, really? You're not upset? You're not like, no, this is it. Like, this is
such a Cathy thing.
Best.
I love it.
I'm like, no, it really is the best. And she's like, okay. I'm like, ooh, let's see. Are we going to like now take an Uber, meet someone cool? Or like, are we going to stop somewhere in Dana Point and have a coffee? Like, what are we going to do? It's so fun. Like, God makes all my plans, right? So then she goes, wait. She goes, there's a train to Oceanside. That's kind of close to San Diego. Let's just take that one. So I'm like, okay, great. We'll take that one. So we buy a ticket and we get on the train and we're sitting there and we're talking and we're having the best time talking. And we realize the train hasn't left and we're just like talking. And then this guy comes on the loudspeaker and he's like, sorry, there's a little delay, blah, blah, blah. And then he does it again 10 minutes later. Sorry, there's a little delay. And she's like, it's been now like, we've been on the train for 40 minutes. She's like, do you want to get off and take an Uber? And I'm like, yeah, let's just do that. Sure, great. So we get in the Uber, and for some reason, instead of it being 3 hours from LA, it says it's going to be 2 hours and 7 minutes, which it's never 2 hours and 7 minutes unless you leave at like 6 a.m. So we saved the hour that we waited, but it gets better. Then I get an email from Amtrak for the original tickets that I bought that I still hadn't like done anything with. And they say, because they think I'm on that 8:10 train, right? And they send me an email and say, we're so sorry. And they explain that everyone who was on that 8:10 train, nothing really bad, but they were stuck on the tracks in Riverside for hours. So I wouldn't even have been here. They were on the tracks for hours. And the reason that other train hadn't taken off is because all the signals blew out for the entire thing. So I was right on time because God made me 3 minutes late.
Oh my God.
Because I was supposed to be here with you guys. Do another high kick. Go ahead. Do it. Boom. Wait, it gets better. Like, my whole life is like this. Okay, so I came to LA a few weeks ago because I had my book launch, and my daughters are 9 and 12 and 13. And so the 12 and 13-year-olds literally have a bar or bat mitzvah every single weekend. And so since they lived in LA for so long, literally every weekend. So we came in LA for my book launch plus a bunch of close friends, kids' parties. Anyway, so I'm checking in on a random day at 1:40 when we came in a few weeks ago. I'm in La Hermitage Hotel in Beverly Hills. And I go to check in, and I'm at the front desk, and I'm like, oh, and they know me because like we stayed there before. And I just finish up, and I say to my kids, here, take the key, go to the room, and I'm going to get the rental car. So I'm talking to the concierge about the rental car. And I look to my left, and this person's looking to her right. And it's Marianne Williamson, and she goes, Cathy Heller, what the hell? She's like, we're checking in at the same time. It was so funny. She goes, can you catch up? Can you get a coffee? So we sit down because we're friendly, and we catch up. And she goes, there's no accidents. She goes, anyway, I actually don't want to go into more of her details. That's her life and whatever. I'm like, I'm about to tell her, maybe I should roll it back. But anyway, this whole story. And then as she's leaving, after she tells me all these things, she's like, there's no accidents. I meant to tell you this. Like, she wrote something for the back of my book, which is really nice. But she's like, there's no accidents. I was supposed to meet you today because I wanted to tell you, you're up, kid. You're next. And I was like, okay, got it. Thank you so much. Like, what that, like, it's like, it's really, really fascinating. Like, I don't make any of my appointments. Right? Like, you're always at the right place. And I want to tell you another story. So some of you heard me share this story because I shared it on my podcast. So a friend of mine, he's a rabbi, and he was saying that he was telling his congregation, like, how good it feels to do good for us. Like, it feels so good to do good. Like, that's the reward, is doing good itself. Like, my kids and I, we play this game when the gardeners come, like, who's going to run out and give the cold drink? Who gets to do it the fastest? And because it feels good, honestly. And they're like, I want to do it. Like, actually, my daughter's birthday is on Saturday. And some of you heard me say this, maybe if you're in my community, I shared it this week. She was crying. And I said, why are you crying? And she's like, I don't know. I feel like there's like something about birthdays, the expectation of it. I just wish it was a normal day. And she's like, part of it is you got me for my 13th birthday, because it was her bat mitzvah. She's like, you got me this Van Cleef necklace. So now it's like anything is a letdown, but it shouldn't be a letdown because I don't even need anything. But then it's like disappointing because you asked me what I want, and it's like, I don't even want anything. I don't even need anything, but I should want something. So then it gets me all screwed up in my head. And I was like, well, you can still get something. She's like, no, I totally will. And then she's like, and I don't know why I'm crying. And then I said, do you ever notice that there's like a dopamine that wears off when you've already bought a few nice things? And she's like, yeah, that's it. It's like, I'm kind of desensitized now to it. And I was like, well, first of all, part of that is my fault because I've gotten you a few too many, maybe nice things. Seriously, it like loses its luster, I said, but also because when we buy stuff, it's like, as you drive off the lot, 2 days later, it wears off that you bought the nice car. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fine. I said, but what really feels good is like do something for someone just because. And I go, so who do you care about? Like, what in the world breaks your heart? And I thought she was going to say like, homelessness or save the ocean. And she goes, that woman in the hair salon, she's been there 37 years and like she washes hair and she's so sweet and there's not even a window in the hair salon. She just washes the hair. And I'm like, oh my God, let's go find Anna. Let's go. So we went and she wasn't even there, but the woman who was there said she comes in tomorrow. My daughter said, Mom, can I give her whatever you're going to buy me? Can I take the $100 and give it to Anna? And she was so happy that she did that, right? So I thought that was just so touching. So this rabbi friend of mine he told me this story and it just blew me away, that he told his congregation, like, just do the next good thing because it'll feel so good. Just stop. Like all day long, your ego's like, this is what's happening all day long. Your ego's like, you know how much you better do to prove that you're worthy? You need to make more money. You need more stuff. You need a bigger something. You need something to post on Instagram because you're worth shit, right? Your soul's like, do you know how much you have to give already? Do you know how much in overflow you are? Oh my God, like you don't need to prove anything. You're just here to give now. You are an extension of the light of the Creator, right? If God was the sun, you're a ray of that light. Just beam. You don't need to prove anything. You're here to give. You're here to walk into a room and be the light bulb. So he was sharing this. So this woman, he told me the story that this woman was like, okay, the next good thing I see, I'm going to do it. So she was walking out of like a coffee bean, like a coffee shop. We have a place called Coffee Bean in LA. And there was a bulletin board with all these little phone numbers that you could grab, right? Different things. And it was a volunteer thing and it said NODA, no one dies alone. Like you could volunteer to be with someone if they don't have friends and family. And she thought, oh my God, this is the hardest one. Why did I just say the next good thing I see? Like, couldn't it have been like tying my daughter's shoe? Like, what is this? So she rips the number off and she calls and she's like, hi, I want to volunteer. And the woman was like, okay, we'll place you with somebody, we'll call you. So a few days later, like, we found someone for you. If you could just, show up at Cedars-Sinai, whatever. So she goes to the hospital. They place her with this man who's in hospice. He's dying. He doesn't have kids. He doesn't have family. He's alone. So this is such an incredible thing you could do for someone, right? Just be there with them. So she's there for 2.5 weeks and he's mostly in and out of like consciousness. Sometimes she's holding his hand. Sometimes she's giving him like ice, whatever they tell her to do. And he dies. And she said that she was literally beside herself, like sobbing. And she called her mom. She's in her 30s. She called her mom a few days later and she's like, Mom, I did this thing. It was like so moving. Her mom's like, what's his name? And she's like, why do you want to know? She's like, just what was his name? And she told her mom the name of this man who passed away. And she said, oh my gosh. Her mom starts crying on the other end of the phone. She's like, Mom, why are you crying? She's like, he's the OBGYN who delivered you.
What?
Yeah. She goes, what are you saying? She goes, yeah, we moved away and I had a different OBGYN for your brother and sister, but she said, I can't believe the way God orders things around, because she said, when you were born, I didn't want to plant this in your head, so I never told you, but you went straight to the NICU. You were really sick. He saved your life. He brought you into this world and you repaid the favor.
What?
Yes. Now, I am telling you that I could literally sit here and tell you stories from my own life, and you have a few stories like that, but every day when you wake up in the morning, your mind's going to say, I have an assignment for you. You better make as much money as you can. You better have this. It's like your soul is like, I have a way bigger assignment, right? Because what do you actually want? Moments like that. What do you actually want? Moments that take your breath away. Moments that make you feel so connected to something so much bigger than yourself, because that's abundance, right? And the most amazing part of it is I can show you the evidence that when you're living that way, God says, have it all, right? Have an infinite amount of unbelievable spiritual experiences, and I provided for you an unbelievable physical reality. Enjoy it, have it. There's a line in the Talmud that says that the first question you're asked when you get to the heavenly gates is to answer for every incredible thing in this world that you denied yourself. Woo! Because he made it for you. So you're not supposed to choose. It's not supposed to be a choice between having amazing, beautiful food and an incredible, nice towels and gorgeous friends. Like, abundance is abundance, right? The issue is when you're walking around in lack, right? Like, I need all of these things so that I feel like I'm actually someone, somebody, when you're really already a someone, some of the one. You can't even manifest that way, right? But when you understand that you're the daughter of the king, why would you not have, out of humility, right, the concept that you are meant to be a steward of all of it? Love, blessing, compassion, and wealth. Why would you not get that, right? It's because we don't understand our truth. We're walking around like we're in lack and we need all of these things around us and we need all of this stuff to prove our existence. It's so not the foundation of it, right? So we're just coming back to, this is why I teach this in my community, like every single morning. Just go have a meeting with God. God is your CFO. God is your business partner. And there is no budget there.
Yeah. Okay, I want to circle back to the first story that you told about the train, about getting there at 8:15 or 8:13 and the train going and her going, great. That moment's important because how many of us are in a pattern of something like that happens and we're like, oh, fuck. Oh, God, why is this? And then we're in that energy and then we just create that energy, create that energy, create that energy, create that energy. And we talked about this morning, right? When things aren't going well, rather than following the energy of the thing not going well, how do we get above it? How do we rise above it? So how did you practice that? Oh gosh, that's your train that you missed.
True.
So who do you have to be, Cathy, to embody that? It's like no matter what happened, and I've seen you do this so many times, like no matter what happens, Cathy's like, cool, okay, that's amazing, this is great. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Like you just have that. What is that? And how can you just marinate the brain with that? Yeah, just like throw that shit everywhere.
Because
whatever that is.
I think what I know, there's kind of what you think you know, but what you really know is that we're always at the right place at the right time. Because for me, the agenda is not some outcome. It's like, am I having the conversation my soul is meant to be having, period. I don't know. Whatever I'm meant to be doing, I know that that's what I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think when we are confused that we're supposed to control it. I mean, I've seen so many people, and I think you can probably think of examples like this, who they work so hard to create a life, and then they do, and it's not even the one they're meant to be living. It's like, what have you been doing? Right? It's so amazing when we make our life jazz. The reason jazz is so fun to listen to, you don't know the next note. Either did Miles Davis. Like, let's freaking go. Like, it's so hot when you're just like letting your hips sway and God's your dance partner. And you're like, you lead. Yeah. Let's go. Like, you can operate on the level of the linear plane, or you can operate on the level of miracles. It's up to you. Right? So what's amazing is that we tend to keep looking at the world through the 1%, which is this physical illusion, when it's 99%, right? I tell this story about my best friend who, she did a deal with Mark Cuban on Shark Tank, and these stories are everywhere. But essentially, she had created this vegan deli business, making vegan corned beef, vegan roast beef, all of this stuff. And she had $10,000 in total revenue, and her husband was like, you should send in a video to Shark Tank. And she's like, sure. When, like, you know a little bit about that, but like most people, we don't have to go there right now, but most, she's like, how many hours do you have?
I have PTSD.
I know. I'm just kidding. Most people don't go on Shark Tank when they have $10,000 total in revenue. They go on when they like have an established business, but for whatever reason, she's like, I'm going on. So she goes on the show, and she asks for whatever she asked for, whatever percentage in exchange, whatever money in exchange for a percentage of her company. And not only did she get one offer, she got two offers, right? Mr. Wonderful and Mark Cuban gave her an offer, but Mark Cuban offered her twice what she asked for. And she was like, oh my God. Anyway, long story short, he gets on stage afterwards and he's like, Mazel tov, congratulations, blah, 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 blah. And they're backstage talking, and it turns out that her grandfather had a deli and his grandfather had a deli and they were friends.
What?
And they knew each other. And it turns out that there was a debt. There was a loan. And it had never been repaid. And her grandfather had said, don't worry about it. Well, it got repaid on that stage.
Oh my gosh, I got goosebumps.
So there's a chessboard that you see, which is nothing. Oh, yeah. It's nothing, right? And then there's actually the 99% of the vision that you can't see with the naked eye, which is what's actually moving the needle for you. Some of you know this story. My dad died last year in July. And I wear, not this manly blue bracelet. That'd be weird if he wore that. But this one, this was his bracelet. I had it cut down. It's like I feel him with me all the time. So he died in July of 2024. And he left me and my sister his house. It was across the street from the ocean. If anybody read my book, or if you're going to read the book, at the end, I actually put his essay. It's called Lessons from the Jetty. He used to walk to the ocean every day and pray. And I actually found that essay when I was with him in hospice, and I called Simon & Schuster and I said, please don't kill me, but could you include this in the back of the book? And they were like, okay, fine. And they had to like reset the whole typing and whatever, but they put it in there, which is like perfect. So anyway, long story short, he wanted my sister and I to have his house that was like right in front of the beach. And he mentioned it for 20 years, every day, all the time we would see him. I'm like, Dad, it's too much. It's like, stop mentioning your death. Like, okay, one day you'll leave us this place. I get it. Long story short, he died. And my stepmom, without consulting my sister and I, put their house on the market and sold it. And it sold within 3 weeks. And so when I finally heard about it, I was like, do I like get an estate lawyer and now like get involved? Or do I put a lien on it? Or do I do nothing? And I got the hit. I talked to God about it. And he was like, don't do anything. Your dad said he'd leave you a house. He's going to leave you a house. I'm like, okay, cool. So we decide that we're going to buy a property in Florida. And for whatever reason, I see this house and I'm like, I'm putting an offer on this house. And I put an offer, you know the story?
No, but I
put an offer on this random house. And my last name is Heller. That's my dad's last name was Heller. And I put an offer on this house, and I put an offer lower than asking, like a decent amount, hundreds of thousands of dollars lower, just to see, because I figured like in LA, the counter will wind up, no, they accepted it right away. And I was like, that's like weird. So I get a call from the realtor within an hour. They accepted your offer. I'm like, they're not countering? Why don't they, is something wrong with the house? Like, that's so crazy. So he says, no. He says they have higher offers, but the people selling the house are really sad to leave that house. And they just told me, he says, against my better judgment, because I told them to go with the higher offer, but they just told me that the wife prayed for a sign because they were having a hard time parting with the house. And they said their last name is Heller, the sellers. And they knew that that was a sign that that is your house.
Wow.
So I get to the door, and on the door, it said the Heller home. Like, it's like on the door. I was like, got it, Dad, thanks. And the address is 888. That's the address.
Stop.
Not joking. That's my address. So I moved into that house. Yeah. And I was asking God, like, give me a sign that I'm supposed to move. And this, it's like, yeah, okay, that's a clear sign. So you get to decide, right? You get to decide if you want to make God your business partner, your life partner, right? Your realtor. Or if you're just like, I got it, right? And like you're disconnected from all the source of your power, and everything has to come anyway through flow state. What happens in flow state? We now have the science to show this. Something bigger than you is moving through you. Why wouldn't you want to live that way all the time? And when you think about the things that you want, the Range Rover, the $10 million, the speaking, the whatever it is that you want to do, why do you want it? Because of how you believe it's going to make you feel. So why wouldn't you just feel that way now? Why wouldn't you do everything that you want to feel that way and not then have to wait on layaway for this other thing outside of you to show up to make you feel that way, right? The whole idea of the radio metaphor is that you can turn on that music. You can literally be having that dance party and RSVP to the day with God that is like waiting in escrow for you every single day. And you can turn that on whenever you want. right? And from that place, you're now operating on the level of the mystical. You're operating on the level of all that was in escrow, hidden in plain sight, that you denied yourself when you were focusing on this like 1% of reality. And there's so much more that where all of your abundance really is, right? And that's what it means to be a receiver. That's what it means to open up and to receive.
And two things are happening simultaneously. Number one, you're just feeling amazing. Like when you decide to get in alignment and you decide to raise your vibration, it just feels incredible. And then the byproduct of that is you start attracting at that level. So it's like double whammy.
And I want to just say this to you too, which is pretty cool, because we can have these conversations and they start to feel really activating. And then you're like, but what do I do with it? How do I actually, what's the mechanism? And she teaches it, and some of you now teach it because she's taught you how to be facilitators of it in one way, which is, I mean, she's so amazing at it. I said to Sam, I've done breath work with so many people, but the amount of light years that I am transported when I've been held by you in breath work, it's your imprint is so good, and your playlist is so fucking fire every time. Anyway, that playlist, oh my God. So here's another piece of technology, okay? You have breath work, but here's another one, which is, if you look at the chakra system, right, it's actually really interesting how it's exactly mirroring the Sphirot, which is the Kabbalistic energy centers. What's amazing is that these two very timeless, lasting traditions, no one got on a Zoom conference call, and yet they're the same. No, it's really wild. Like you're talking about thousands of years old, and we say there's the crown chakra, right? And the word for this center in Hebrew is keter. Keter means crown. It's literally identical. How did they know, right? It's because the truth is always the truth. Isn't that cool? Pretty cool. So one thing that I would say is this. When you say to yourself, okay, I get this. I actually do want to be a receiver, but I'm so much in the fog of the mind, right? And remember that there's two levels of mind. There's thought, which is like really not you. There's actually no wisdom in the mind. All the wisdom's in the heart. So there's a level of thought where there's no wisdom. I'm going to say that again. Don't believe anything you think. It's all fake news. And then there's a level of consciousness, which is not actually even in the mind. They just did a bunch of fMRIs on monks and found zero brain activity. They were like, are they alive? Yeah, they're alive, but all their wisdom isn't in here. It's in here. And then this literally has an antenna to the field, right? We download from the field of infinite intelligence, which is where God hangs out, okay? So this doesn't get you any answers. So do you ever notice the more think about that. You know, you're just getting it worse and worse and worse and worse away from wisdom. Okay, so one of the ways for you to get out of this, which is really, we're talking about the mind, but the prefrontal cortex is actually better than where it really is, which is the amygdala part of your reptilian brain, where all of these habitual neural pathways have just dug in, and it's all these stories of lack and scarcity, and it's all trying to protect you, and it's just so not good in there, right? When we want to activate the part of us that can get into flow state, this idea of being a receiver, right, being a radio, let's actually go into that for a second. So in your energy centers, you actually have literal antennas, okay? Antennas. So your crown chakra, right, which is the keter, which is the Sphirot, the energy center right here. Just check in right now. Close your eyes. Let's see if we can do this, right? Because we want to be great receivers, right? We want to receive abundance in our life, right? We want to be able to receive what we want to manifest. So let's just check in. How much are you receiving right now? So let's place your awareness on your crown chakra, on this keter center, right above your head. Are you receiving? Are you receiving? Because you know what this part of you receives? Real vision. This is your third eye. This is your crown chakra. This is where you're actually receiving the real vision. Just make sure it's actually on. And now we're going to do this quickly so we can just kind of get a scan. We're going to move through a few centers. Move into your throat chakra. Okay, right here. Is it actually on? Do you actually allow yourself to say and speak what is true? Are you receiving? Are you actually in flow, channeling what actually needs to be said by you? And what would be said if you actually let yourself say it? What would you receive? What would that receiver pick up that you were meant to speak into this world the way only you can speak it? Now move into your heart chakra, in this lev, in this heart. Lev is the Hebrew word for heart. You're opening up this. Now, how turned on is this heart? Because this heart that you have is capable of generating enough love for everyone in this room. And it actually has the capacity to create an infinite amount of love. And while it has the capacity to create an infinite amount of love, that could literally, you could see, just in your mind's eye, visualize the earth spinning on its axis and your heart loving this entire world into life. Just notice how you have the capacity to love strangers, to want such good for people across this globe that you've never even met, and it's sincere. That's how powerful you are. And while you have the capacity to love like that, the heart that you have has the capacity to receive that level of infinite love. Now, just see if you could open your heart 10%, 20% more. How often do you actually let yourself receive the love from the person right in front of you? How often when you walk in a room do you remember that the most impressive person in the room, it's not where they went to college or what shoes they're wearing, it's how loving they are, how present, how non-judgmental. Now moving down to your gut. What does your intuition want you to know that you keep pushing down? What are you not receiving because you keep turning off the dial? And what if you're not responsible for the way people receive your intuition? You're only responsible to speak what's true for the highest and best of all concerned. And your gut has been screaming at you to receive this wisdom. Turn it on. Feel it. And now moving down, one more, into this root, the place where desire is born. How much more actually wants to be desired by you, but you find a way to keep a lid on it because you tell yourself it's not possible, or you tell yourself you're not allowed to have it. Put it with a capital D. It's hot. Open it up. What does it want to receive? How good does it want to feel? And now when you feel that, what if you let go of the guilt and the shame? What if it was put in you because you were meant to be a receiver at maximum? And so you're made to receive, because we don't receive for the self alone. We receive on behalf of the collective because we're someone, some of the one. And when we receive fully, everyone in the room is in receivership, because abundance creates abundance. because a vibe is a vibe, and it's a wave. Now open your eyes for a second. We say, oh my God, yeah, I want to receive. I want to receive the best relationship, all this money, blah, blah, blah. It's like, your capacity to receive is your capacity to receive. So in any moment, how much are you receiving right now? Can you be a better receiver? And one other thing about it is, you can't manifest from lack. You can only manifest from wholeness. So I often ask people, how often do you feel whole? How many times a day do you stop and feel fully, boy, damn, I am totally satisfied? Because if you're not feeling so deeply satisfied, you can't manifest. We manifest from wholeness. Consciousness creates form. Energy creates matter. When two people come together and they create so much energy that they have an orgasm, their brain goes into gamma. It's beyond the speed of light. It's faster than the speed of light. They're in such overflow, boom, they create another person. If you want to create in the quantum field, if you want to create in your business, in your life, in the love, in any way, you got to be in overflow, not in lack. So when you show up for your day and you're like, I feel like shit, but I'm just going to muscle my way through this. I'm just going to post something on Instagram. It's like, not going to work. It's resonance, right? If you throw a stone in the water, it makes a small ripple. If you throw a boulder, it makes a huge ripple. When you are in wholeness, you will manifest. You will start printing like a 3D printer. But what do most people do? They're like, God, I really, 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 really want to manifest all this stuff because I feel so bad and I feel like shit and I'm in so much lack and all this stuff will make me feel better. Thank God, God didn't set up the world to make it work that way. It's the opposite. The world is not working like a vending machine. It's a mirror. It's a vibrational match, right? So we're working toward turning on all of these chakras, turning on all the spirit, right? Turning it all on, being such a good receiver that I'm like, thank you. How'd you know? That we move in the quantum field, right? And wherever we go, you're just like Elsa, turning everything from thought to thing, from thought to thing. Don't freeze anybody, but it's like right here. Right? And so what mostly we're doing is spending all day looking outside of ourselves, all day looking outside of ourselves. It's like taking the plug and plugging it in. So we're not resourced to the divine. We're trying to resource ourselves in all these things outside of us, which don't have any electricity.
Everyone take a deep breath. There's electrolytes in that. I don't know if you're going to like it, but give it a shot.
First of all, I'm so glad you told me right before I drank it, because you were telling me as I took a sip, so I'm like, our water's weird. What happened to the water? But then as you told me, I went, I
it's
recognize.
The element ones is like super.
Like what?
Like, I gotta.
Did she pee in the water? What happened?
Drinking your pee is apparently a health hack. Have you guys heard about it?
Stop it!
No, I'm not. I'm serious. Like I'm not. Where's Sarah?
Oh my God, that really tastes like shit,
wasn't...
but that's okay. No, it's good for me. It's good. It's electrolytes.
There you go, yeah.
That. No, of course you would have electrolytes in your water. Look how hot you are. Why don't I have electrolytes in my water? Okay, because it doesn't taste good. That's okay. It's fine. I just won't share water with you ever again.
I kind of hesitated when I put some in. I was like, hope she likes it.
That's fine. I'm going to drink it.
quick little pause here because I need to let you in on something that has honestly changed how I run my business. It was so overwhelming. We had so many different tools, emails, funnels, scheduling things, pipelines, payments. It was honestly such a mess. And then I discovered Go High Level. It's literally an all-in-one platform where I can run my entire business under one roof. You guys, it feels so good to go into one platform and see all of our dashboards, the money that we make, the clients that came in, where everybody is. It is so clean and so easy. The automated follow-ups are amazing. The landing pages are amazing. You can even run your memberships and online programs on Go High Level. It's honestly freaking awesome. It doesn't just save me money. It has given me back my sanity in my business because I have complete clarity and confidence where everything is. So if you've been looking for a way to streamline your business, to scale faster, to remove the headaches of like tech and all of that complication and just get back to doing what you freaking love, I have partnered with Go High Level to give you guys a 30-day experience so you can test drive it yourself, see how you love it. Just head on over to pausebreathwork.com/high level. That's pausebreathwork.com/high level. I will also put the link to the free trial in the show notes. And seriously, once you see how powerful this is, you're going to wonder how you freaking ran your business without it. So go to pausebreathwork.com/high level. Okay, let's talk about momentum because I feel like we can get here and we can get high on Cathy Heller.
It's really bad.
Yeah. And then what happens 10 p.m. tonight? How do we consistently create momentum in the vibration of abundance so that we don't let it drop?
We'll say more. Keep going.
Okay, so life is lifey. Right? And like, we're all so plugged in right now and on the edge of our seat because what Kath is speaking to is truth. It is undeniable truth. Our bodies are hearing it. We're feeling it. It's resonating. Our vibration is increasing. It's like, of course. Like, how many moments today have we all been like, of course, oh my gosh, why was I doing it any other way? Of course, of course, of course. Life gets lifey. Things in our 3D world happen, and then we make a conscious decision to drop the energy to be at that level of the thing happening, right? So how do we constantly like rev the engine of abundance that allows us to be in momentum so when life is lifey, it doesn't actually impact the vibration so the momentum can keep moving?
So, such a good question. I mean, first of all, the thing about it is that we are addicted to feeling like shit. Mm-hmm. Literally.
Yeah, 100%.
No, we literally are because cortisol is more addictive than nicotine. Fact. So there's something called disintegration anxiety, which is when you are starting to feel so good, it's for your brain, it's like you just decided to just go off cigarettes. And your brain is like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? Why are you feeling this good? I'm freaking out. Like, where's my shot of shame?
Yes.
Where's my hit of self-doubt? Because I'm used to cortisol and I don't know myself without it. So I have disintegration anxiety. Your brain is literally freaking out. So Dr. Joe talks about this. He's like, when you leave here, you're going to have dispensa influenza. And it's true because you felt so good that then when you go back to life, your brain says, hang on, I was trying to keep you safe. And in order to do that, I kept trying to ground you with these levels of cortisol that would take you out of joy. Because here's the thing. Brene Brown talks about joy makes you feel vulnerable because you have a choice. You either can try to control someone or love them. So joy means I'm taking my hands off the wheel. I'm not in control, right? The people who are the most scared of life are very controlling, right? When people are controlling, it's fear. So the brain and the soul do a little bit of a dance because the brain is like, I need to lower your vibe because you're out of control. But where do you really want to be? Not in control, right? I was in Switzerland this summer and I couldn't believe I have not been out of the country since 2006.
Really?
How is that possible?
What?
I don't understand. Crazy town. Anyways, so I was in Switzerland with my kids. It was so fun, so beautiful. And I woke up one of the mornings that we were there, and I said, "Oh, she gave me better tasting one." That's my girl right there. Thank you so much.
I'll take this away from you.
Yeah.
There you go.
I want to see you drink that. Both.
I will. I will.
I will drink it. So I wake up in Switzerland one morning, and I said, I often remember to do this, and every once in a while I forget, but when I remember, it's a good thing to do. I promise it works every time. I woke up and I was like, hey, God, I was like, I want you to show me that I'm exactly at the right place at the right time today. Just like, I just want to have like a date with you, like make it so obvious. It's so fun because it will just always show up. So my daughters and I, we go out for the day and we go on this like really big funicular, like going up this mountain. I think it's called Top of Europe. It's like in the Swiss Alps. It's really high up. And as we were going up, I was like, oh, this is a really great idea. Oh my God, it's really high. And the guy's like, can you believe they built this 100 years ago? I'm like, amazing, great. Don't look out the window. What the fuck how are we gonna get down? Because we're not taking this piece of shit down. I was like freaking out. Anyways, we went up. It was so, so beautiful. And was it worth the ride? I'm not sure. No, it was fine. It was pretty. Anyway, we come down and we're finally down and we're getting off of the little funicular thing. And it leaves like every 11 minutes from this like base camp. And we're getting off. And at the moment that we're getting off, this woman goes, Cathy Heller in Switzerland, right? And I'm like, who said that? And I look and I see this woman walking towards me and I say to my daughter, I'm like, I don't know who this is. Like says, and then I notice who she is. She's like one of these amazing members of our community, Jill. I'm like, what are you doing here? She goes, you don't understand. She goes, I just went through chemo and I was listening to you the entire time through chemo. And I told my husband, like, if I make it to the other side and I ring the bell, I'm taking that trip of a lifetime to Switzerland. Aww. And she goes, and he was saying, it's so expensive and blah, blah. And she said, I promise there's going to be a sign that tells me I was exactly at the right place at the right time. And she goes, and I said to him yesterday, what if we just see Cathy Heller in Switzerland? And she tells me, see, you made it. I knew you would make it through chemo and I knew you'd be on these Swiss Alps. And she goes, and you're literally standing in front of me in Switzerland. And the fact that it's every 11 minutes a train goes up and down. Like she could have been on the train that was going up while I was coming down. I never would have seen her. And I was like, how awesome is it when we're not in control, right? It's almost all worth it for those moments.
Yeah.
It's just so amazing how it all, like my book came out last week on 11/11. Like Simon & Schuster doesn't, I'm sorry, but they don't like think about this quantum. I don't think.
They're not like us.
I was like, do you realize that you guys picked 11/11? She goes, oh, cute. What does it mean? Why? I'm like, my whole book is about this. The hell? Did you even read it? You didn't read it. Great. Fucker. No, I'm just kidding.
That's so typical. That's so typical.
But it's like, what? It's just when we're not in control. So you get to choose, right? You get to choose if you want to be in control. Or you get to start, and here's what's it really does work. You can tell your body, which is what you teach about the nervous system, you can tell your body it's safe to feel this good and just tap it out. Like, it's safe to feel this good. But when something's not familiar, your body goes, Mayday. So if you've never felt this good and now this good, your body goes, not safe to feel this good. It's like, no, it actually is. This is how God intended it. And then you know what's helpful? Is to remember that, you know why it gets to feel this good? Because it doesn't even last that long. Because even if you live till 100, it was a blip. So just enjoy it all, right? Because you're going to go to the next life or the next thing. And it's like, then you go, oh yeah, why am I even saying that? Like the whole thing is set up to feel that good, right? Because you're here to learn the lessons you're here to learn and then take them with you to whatever the next dimension looks like anyway. So why are you getting in the way of just feeling so good? Just feel it. Just enjoy it. Just have it, right? But it is scary. And you do have that disintegration anxiety. And so it is a really normal phenomenon, right? But did you ever consider this? And my friend Kim and I were talking about this today, and we were talking about it the other day. We kind of like geek out on this stuff. So Einstein talked about how time is not linear, but you just experience it that way, right? Time is not linear. You guys know that one, right? Time is not linear, right? And so we experience the past and the present and then the future. But the reason that you can taste this future is because you're already there. You've already been there. I explain this to people sometimes and they're like, I don't get it. And I'm like, yeah, God doesn't experience 24-hour days, right? 24 hours is the sun and the earth's rotation, right? But if you went to Jupiter, a day is, anyone know? A day on Jupiter is 9 hours and 58 minutes, right? Because it has a different relationship to the sun. But if you went all the way to Pluto, I don't even know if that's still, is it a planet? Is it not a planet?
I think it got dropped.
It got dropped.
Like, you're out of here.
Canceled it. Well, if you go all the way out there, right, then an hour is 26 seconds. They've measured that. So that's crazy, right? An hour is 26 seconds. So then 24 hours is 24 times 26 seconds. That's a day. Isn't that crazy? And then if you go just beyond our solar system, what happens to time? It's amazing how much we know about like our apps, and we don't know this. If you go just beyond our solar system, time evaporates. There's no time. So if you were from God's lens, it's all just now. He's seen the whole movie, right? So when you're in divine timing, you're like, nothing to freak out about. Because I've been to the future, and I've been to the past, and everything's actually okay up here, right? And so you experience all this bumpiness because you're still plugged into here. But what's so cool, this is what's so amazing. I've sat with so many people in meditation and in breath work, and I talked to John Kabat-Zinn about this, and he was like, it's amazing, like everyone I've ever worked with can get to that place where they feel that thing that's like the real truth of who they are, and they feel like that's the part of them that's beyond time, right? So while you're partly experiencing this disintegration anxiety because this ego wants to hold on to this cocktail of cortisol or whatever it is, there is a part of you that says, we're good. Just breathe, right? Because the mind is always in fight or flight. I told you there's no wisdom in the mind. But the heart is always in equanimity. Always. I sat with my dad in hospice. In hospice, he's knowing that the moments are like precious and they're going. I've never seen him so dropped in. And he even said, he had all his family around him. He said, if I had to come to earth just for these 6 days, I would do it again and again.
Wow.
The heart is wise. And it's always, always not attached to what the mind is doing with the jumping jacks, because it's attached to God. It's in that divine surrender. It's in divine order. I'll tell you this one more thing. So my meditation teacher used to say that we are like the ocean, right? If you were to look at the ocean, you see the waves. It's frenetic, right? It's always choppy. It's always reactive. But the ocean, if you go down in the ocean, you can go down 10 feet. It's still. What happens if you go down 50 feet? It's like glass. If you scuba dive, it's like a fish goes by and it's like you see every detail because it's so still. So we have within us this still, deep, wise sovereignty. But the mind is this like nonstop choppiness. So when you step out of the blizzard of the mind and you just look up at it from the part of you that's wise, you find the sovereignty again. You meet up with the divine GPS again. The radio turns on again. It's just that all the time, everything around you is reconditioning you into the mind and that identity and all that stuff. And so you have to pull over to the side of your life and breathe or meditate. And when you are CEO of your business from that place, it's a completely different day, right? It's a completely different day. And that's where you turn it all on. And that's when you move into wholeness. And that's when you collapse space and time. And there's the most amazing things happen. I'll tell you one last thing, because he just texted me. So I just got a text from my friend Steve, who used to be head of Apple Podcasts. And I tell this story because it's just like another one of these stories where I started my podcast when my daughter was 3 weeks old, and I have 3 girls. So my older one was 4.5, and then I have a middle one who was 3.5, and then she was 3 weeks, my youngest. And I had this wild idea to start a podcast, and I start the show. This is 2017. And 6 months later, I'm breastfeeding. It's like, I'm exhausted. I'm bone tired. My friend's like, oh, you should go to this podcast conference. And I'm like, I don't have the time or the energy, but like, oh, you know what? It feels like a yes. So I'll just go. So I go, I bring a pump like into the like, you know, my room. I'm like pumping every like 4 hours, running down to the conference. Anyway, it was only a 2-day thing, but one of the moments was like a networking thing. And my friend says, did you bring business cards? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Do I look like I have business cards? Like, I didn't prepare anything ever my whole life. I'm such a C student. I'm like, shoot, no. She's like, well, the whole thing was for networking. I'm like, great, I don't have anything like that. So we go downstairs and I find that it's like so tense because everyone's like, hi, I am being fake. And it's like so annoying. So I say to my friend, I go, what is the even point of this? And she goes, well, everybody wants to meet the Apple people who are, because Spotify wasn't really yet a podcast thing. It was really more Apple podcasts. So she's like, they all want to meet the Apple podcast team. And I'm like, you know what? I can't. I just can't do it. I can't be that person. So I'm like, I'll meet you back in an hour when the panels and the things actually starts. So I leave this networking cocktail, whatever, go across the street to a different hotel. It's quiet in the lobby. I order an iced tea. I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm just like, I can breathe. Sit down, order an iced tea. There's a nice guy sitting there. And he is wearing the same badge as me from the conference. And he's like, were you in there? He's like, it's crazy in there. I'm like, I just can't. I just don't know how to do that, actually. Anyway, he tells me he's from the Midwest. And we start talking about Chicago and how nice Midwesterners are. And then 45 minutes later, he hands me his card. And he goes, listen, I'm the head of Apple Podcasts. He's like, you should come to Apple. And I'm like, great, let's do that. Then I'm looking at his card, and I don't want to reveal, but it says the address, okay? It's the offices in Culver City, I'll give you that much, because I feel like they're gonna be like, why'd you get on stage and tell everyone the Apple address? I'll tell you why. So he shows me I see the address, and I go, my 4.5-year-old's preschool is across the street, and there's a building that's unmarked with valet parking. And I'm like, that's you? I've always wondered, what the hell is that bougie building? All these people like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, people go in, nobody comes out. What the fuck is it? Like, what's happening in there? What are they doing? And I'm dropping her off. So he goes, yeah, when are you going to be there next? This was a Sunday. I go, tomorrow morning. He goes, great, come have breakfast with me, bitch. I'm like, oh my God. So the next day I drop Gabby off at pre-K and literally like leave the car in that parking lot, walk across the street, and Apple is like right there. I had been there every single day. I had been there. And then they like took me under, he's like, you know, make you a star, kid, I'll put you on my arm. He took me under his wing. They featured me like 9 times. Apple chose my show 5 years in a row as the #1 show for the New Year, New You, like new and noteworthy. It was literally like they chose my show as 1 and Oprah's show as 2. That's a joke. That can't even be possible. Me? Hello, hey. Like, I didn't even wear my Invisalign. Like, how are you choosing my show? What the fuck are you doing? Like, I was a C student. What are you doing? So 5 years in a row, and I really like, I don't know, my show then was like 55 million downloads later.
It's insane.
Because I left. No, I left. Did you catch that? I left the conference. It wasn't like, what's the strategy? Who do I talk to? It was like, bye, peace out. Because God's got me, right? And because, here's the real thing, because I didn't need it to feel good. I wanted the iced tea to feel good. And that's when it gets so good. That's the point. Get it? They get it. They get it.
They do get it.
They get it.
They do get it. They do get it. Yeah, you get everything that you desire when you stop needing it. It's crazy the way the universe works like that.
It's the best.
Wholeness, though. It's like, I am whole and complete. I have absolutely everything I could possibly need and wants, et cetera, et cetera. And the universe is like, oh my gosh, amazing. Here's more money. Here's more connections. Here's more stuff. Here's more stuff. Here's more stuff. And then you remember you brought Steve to your house in LA and then invited all of us over. And then Steve poured into all of us and told us how to blow up our podcast, which was so amazing and valuable and so generous of you. Just so great. Fun. The better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets.
Yeah, by the way, that is a whole strategy for life. It's like just being nice and being there for other people, it's amazing how that always gives you back. And
whenever you're feeling scarcity or lack, just literally go out of your way to figure out how I can help people. How can I help you reach your goals quicker? How can I help you? That is the way the universe works. And then somehow, some way, there's this invisible jet fuel that then allows you to meet your goals. It's just like, it's so beautiful, and you feel so good doing it.
Last summer, my dad died in July last year, 2024. And so we went through the funeral, and then we went through, in Judaism, we do something called sitting Shiva, which for 7 days, you just like, it's really actually a gift because you just sit. You don't do anything. You literally stay home and feel your grief. Like, it's actually really important. And then the re-entry is really hard because you like go out in the world, you're like, the cars move really fast. Doesn't this person know my dad just died? Why is she asking me for my order so quickly? You know, it's like, the world feels weird after you've gone through something so that breaks you open, but it's so beautiful. So it was a couple weeks after. My kids were like, Mom, this summer has been so hard. We were in the hospital, then we were in hospice. They're like, we want to go to there was like the Minions movie or something had just come out. Like, can we go to the Minions movie? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not up to it, but I'm going to take you guys because you've been such troopers. It's been such a shit few weeks for you. Let's go. So we go, and before that, we stop to get sushi. So we go to the sushi restaurant, and the best ones are the ones that are like jam-packed, like hole in the wall, right? So we're sitting at this table like this, and there's a table right next to us, and I can hear their whole conversation because they're like right here, right? Not even this part, like right here, right next to me. So I'm listening to them, and I say to my kids, I'm like, they're on a first date. You know, like, how do you know? I'm like, I can tell they're on a first date. She's like, what do you do? And he's still like, you know, trying to impress her. I was like, they're on a first date. So I was feeling really sad because I had been sad for the last many weeks. And I was like, you know what's going to make me feel better? I'm just going to do something for someone for no reason. So I turned to them and I'm like, are you guys on a first date? And they're like, yeah. And my kids are like, Mom, this is so embarrassing. Not cool. Not cool, Mom. Cringe. Like, so cringe. I'm like, it's okay, bro. It's fine. Anyway, 6, 7, it's fine. Anyway.
I just learned what that means.
Yeah, welcome.
It means nothing.
Yeah, it means nothing. We'll
I still don't get it.
Other hour. We'll do an hour on that afterwards. Anyways.
6, 7.
6, 7.
6, 7.
So I say to them, are you on a first date? They're like, yeah. And I said, can I like buy you dessert or something? And they're like, sure, weird lady. No, they're like, yeah, sure. So we got up and we left, and they ordered like the fried Japanese ice cream or whatever. And she says to me before I left, she goes, what's your like social media? She's like, I want to say thank you. I want to stay in touch with you. I was like, okay. So we leave, we go to the movie, and it's kind of boring. So I'm like, pick up my phone, like, because I'm like, can't watch these boring movies. And she DM'd me, and she's like, thank you so much. And I was like, dude, like, are you going to go on a second date? And she's like, I don't know, but he was really nice. And it was so nice of you, she said, because what you don't know is, she said, I am a widow. She's only 45. She goes, I'm a widow. I lost my husband 6 years ago. And she said, this was my first date.
Aww.
And so she said, I had asked God for a sign that it's like okay to open my heart. And then you did that. And she goes, and no one's ever done that for me. And I go, you know what's so crazy? I said, this was my first date out of the house since I lost my dad a few weeks ago on July 3rd. And she goes, my late husband died 5 years ago on July 3rd. Yeah. So I feel like what happens is all day long, there's these little breadcrumbs, these little winks from the divine. But when we're just like, shit, nothing's working out, it's like we miss the moment, right? And those moments are the most exhilarating things in the world. And I was like, oh my God, I was crying. And my kids are like, the Minions movie's not sad. Why are you crying? I'm like, because Steve Carell, look at him. He should be, no, okay. The point of it is that when moments like that happen, I was like, Dad, I know you're here. Like, you're talking to me. Like, I was the first time I went out and I did something nice for somebody else. And it was like, it led me right back to what I needed, right? And it's like, what we really want is love and connection. Like, would you rather have a stack of cash or love like that all the time? That's just always bumping into you all the time, where God's like leaving you love notes. No, you want that. And by the way, you get to have both, right? You get to have both. But when you have that first one, it's amazing how that lights up the grid. And that's when all the other stuff fills in. Because that's what you really wanted. And you put first things first.
Give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
You are amazing. How's that water?
This water is so much better than your water.
I feel like you dared me to drink these both, but I feel like if I take a sip of this one, a little pee's gonna come out. Because I think I hit max capacity on my bladder. Like
Do you know that before I got on stage to speak, I had to get in an Uber and go to Neiman Marcus? Do you know why?
Why?
I spilled coffee all over my white shirt right before this.
Stop. So this is brand new?
But it gave me an excuse to buy this outfit.
This is
so I was
amazing. Oh my gosh. In closing, I just want to thank you for being the transmission that you are. You just speak so much truth and so much love, and you just have activated this entire room. Just like
Is it true? Are you activated?
It feels like
Yes.
Like I got goosies on goosies on goosies on goosies on goosies. It's
Goosies
just
and goosies.
so
cute.
good. Well, you're not leaving my world anytime soon. You're going to come into the Life Mastermind next year, do an amazing session. You're going to be around. We're going to be bringing you in stuff. How can we get amongst you?
How can we get amongst?
You got this epic podcast. You got who's a subscriber of our podcast? If not, get on it.
Get
so
it.
good. So
Get it.
good.
It's free. All the things. First of all, you make it so easy to be, because you're such a light. You're so loving. I feel like you love bomb me every message you leave me like, Cathy, oh my God, I love you so much. It's like every time. No, seriously. And you're just so magnetic that I feel like whatever beauty and good was said here is like just a reflection. It's just a reflection of how truly, genuinely you love this world so hard, so good. So thank you for that. So I have a podcast, Cathy Heller podcast. My book came out on 11/11. I highly recommend, because if you liked anything I said, it's like that plus a lot.
It's incredible. We've got signed copies for people who join the Life Mastermind tomorrow, so I will be handing those out tomorrow.
I'll go sign those for you. And then we have a community where I do a daily morning practice with you guys, and I send you something every single day, like a love note from me, plus like workshops, whatever. And it's cathyheller.com/life. And then I think the code for Black Friday is Friday, and it's like not expensive. It's like an easy, like add to cart. Like you can do all of her things and have that too. And it's like so easy to have. And it's accessible. And I'm on Instagram, I'm on the gram, and I I write my own shit and I love it.
Yeah.
So every day I try to write something that's going to like remind you of how fucking brilliant you are and what lives in you.
Yeah, go follow her on Instagram. People share your shit all the time, and I'll like follow someone, and then there'll be this brilliant piece of writing. I'm like, fuck, that's so good. And I'll click, and I'm like, of course it's Cathy. Like the other day it happened again. It's like, you're such a great writer because you just channel. It's like just for the last 90 minutes, she's just been channeling. You know, you guys have felt that energetic transmission. That's just how you do life.
Well,
and it's just
I love
awesome.
you and all of you. Like you could feel the dropped in presence in this room. So really thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you to each one of you for just like dropping right in. And I see all of that in you. I was watching you guys when we did breath work a little earlier. I was so excited about that. I was like, oh my God, of course she just mixes that into the whole day and you get us right there. So good. And I was watching everyone in this room and I thought, this is a room of way showers. Like you're in this room because you can handle the truth. As Jack Nicholson thought, you can handle it. Like you can.
Yeah.
So it's really such a gift for me. I'm sure you feel the same way. Like when you're with people who can go all the way there, there's a reason you can. Because people often say to me, well, how do you protect your energy? I'm like, no, you're going to project your energy.
Yes.
So when you take everything you feel, everything that's coming through you, right? You are the portal, you're the receiver, and you bring it out there to San Diego or wherever you live, and you go home on the plane and you take it with you, the most coherent energy wins. And you wouldn't be sitting here receiving this if there wasn't that power in you that is meant to then be projected. And you are not a 45-watt light bulb. You're an infinite watt light bulb. So let's fucking go. So thank you. Thank you guys.
Oh my gosh, amazing, amazing.
Can't be contained.